Another thing that's crucial in successfully discipling a teenager is prayer. It may seem just fundamental to the Christian walk, and it is, but it's worthwhile reminding us that, number one, Paul commands us to pray without ceasing, right? What does that mean? I don't think that's necessarily constant out loud praying, but I think it's a kind of God consciousness that we know and we train our heart to believe that He's always present, that He always hears us, that He's always with us, that He is our loving Father who cares. And we need to be reminded that He cares for that teenager you're discipling far more than you and I do, right? He cares for them so deeply, and He is pursuing them. He's coming after them. And only He has the power to save them anyway, right? So prayer is letting go of a lot of the guilt or shame if you started discipling them what you feel like is too late, or it's letting go of that and trusting God. So that's kind of step one, foundational, what we have to do. We have to pray. We need to pray that God would transform their hearts. We have to pray for opportunities to speak with them and to disciple them. We have to pray that God would give us what we need to say and to do to make our lives a compelling witness for them to know and trust Jesus. We need to pray that God would surround that teenager with other teenagers and other leaders who are Christians, who love Jesus, who pursue Him and walk with Him and are growing. We need to pray for our hearts that we're not impatient with God, that we trust in His timing, that we know that His timing is perfect, that His ways are beyond our ways, and that He has the future and the past in His hand. We need to drop and let go of a lot of that baggage that we have, feeling guilty or shameful about how we did or didn't disciple this teenager, and realize that God's mercies are new every morning. Every morning. So we can't continue to look back and wonder what if. No, we need to trust in God today, knowing that He empowered you to disciple that teenager today. And He's going to give you whatever you need, not for next week, not for next month, not next year, but He's going to give you whatever you need for today, this 24-hour block, to do what He's called you to do. And so praying without ceasing is that. It's all those things. It's a constant realization that God is with us, that we're conscious of His work around us, that we're looking. I don't remember who said this, but I had a teacher teach one time, and he said, there are things that God does to wink at us throughout the day, and we're looking for that. That's what pray without ceasing is, knowing that we have a good Father in heaven who loves us, who didn't even spare His own Son from us, who's given us all things, who seated us with Christ, who's empowered us with the same Holy Spirit that empowered Samson to rip a lion in half. He can empower you to have that conversation about the gospel and discipleship today with that teenager. So I'm encouraging you now to pray. Pray without ceasing for that teenager in your life and see God work in them.